Well, hello everyone. Thanks for joining today. I just want to catch everyone up. We had, 2 days ago I had a flat on the climb out of Alpine and had to take some time to take care of that. And I noticed I had the back wheel was out of true, so I had to do some maintenance. And so I ended up, I don't know if you all saw, that car had snow on it, so that's my next point. So the forecast yesterday was for 100% rain and about 35 to 39 degree temperatures, and it was all of that. So I decided to take a 0 day down the hill here in Pine Valley, and so got some rest and rehydrated and feel ready to go. And I just climbed up out of Pine Valley and getting ready to descend again, and I figured I could chat with you and catch you all up. So heading to Boulevard later today. I got a descent and then another climb, and so I'll be at the very highest peak of the California mountains for this ride today. I think I'm right at about 4,000 feet right now, but I think I get to about 4,500 feet elevation. I want to thank everyone for your donations. Those keep coming in, and we're over 12,000 right now, so thanks for all of that and your support for Wounded Warrior Project as we continue to raise awareness for veterans affected by COVID-19. I've had some great conversations with veterans. They have been amazing and talked about, I think the common theme is that COVID-19 has been very isolating, as it has for all of us, and as 2020 has impacted all of us. Many of them now are starting to get the vaccine, so that's good. And but the impacts, of course, of behavioral health on veterans continue to plague the veteran population, as by some estimates over 20 veterans a day to commit suicide. And then you add to that the impact of COVID-19, and that's the purpose of this ride, to raise that awareness. So invite you to continue. We have links on our Twitch site here where you can donate, and appreciate all of your generosity. And I guess my goal is to entertain you with the ride, and so we're going to get underway here in a minute. And thanks again for joining. As folks come in, we'll catch you all up as we go. Feel free to chat questions, and I've got John in my ear again, so I've got him live, and I think we have a 4-second delay on the video, so he'll ask me live, and then be a few seconds before I can get to it. I got one caveat. I'm getting ready to descend, so this will be the first test. You're going to get a lot of wind in your ear today, and so we're going to test the microphone with the wind, but once I get to the bottom and start climbing again, we'll decide if we want to keep chatting, or if I can't breathe, then we'll stop streaming for the day. So with that, I've got a cattle grate right in front of me, and so I'm going to negotiate this by foot, and so we don't break an ankle and break a wheel, and then we'll be on our way. But beautiful, beautiful mountains up here. All right, John, before I get going, any words from anybody? Good morning. Good morning, Greg. It's good to be back on the bike. As much as I love the rest day, I'd rather be out here riding. As I tell everybody, if I had started in Florida, I'd have probably quit. So I had to ship everything here to California so I could ride home. Whew. So we're gonna take the route, instead of riding on the interstate today, we're taking old Highway 80. And I think what I'm gonna do, because it's so steep on the descent, I have my map here on my handlebars, and so it doesn't blow away. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in my pocket. And I'm taking basically Highway 80 all the way into Boulevard, so before I start the descent, let me pull over and put that gear away. All right. Again, you can follow us on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. Follow me on LinkedIn. Connect with me on Facebook. I'm Dave Paramore. And away we go. Enjoy the roller coaster ride. My business partner, Matt, the other day, he doesn't know yet, but we're going to interview him this weekend. He said it was like an IMAX theater the other day on I-8. So, oh look, we have a cattle grate right as I start the descent. So forgive me. I have pretty good bike handling skills, but they're only as good as you stay upright. Okay, video's out. Maybe we're behind the mountain here, yeah. Yeah, we're on I-8, but we're in the mountains, so. Okay, it's coming in. Okay, all right. Let me get zipped up in the back. Sorry folks, the live view kicked off and on that descent. I'll blame it on the border checkpoint back there. Maybe they had a jammer, who knows. But they were great, just chatted with them real quick. And so we're back online, John? All right, good. Yeah, so the streaming unit kicked off for a second. Maybe it was just the switching towers or something, who knows. As you can see, it's pretty remote out here. But I was enjoying a good descent. And it's already started to warm up. But once I finish this descent, we gotta climb up again, get back to Boulevard. So, but yeah, so far so good. All right, John, catch me up on the chat. What did I miss? And so we're going 21 miles today. So kind of put this in perspective, for those who may know the Tour de France. So the Tour de France typically has, it's a 3-week race comprised of 21 stages. And the first week is generally always flat. Sometimes I'll throw in a mountain stage. But this gives the riders, the sprinters, their week to showcase their skills, and also to get the peloton to get their legs under them, and then they start climbing in the second week. I started climbing Tour de France style climbs the first day, and the second day, and the third day here. So I don't have climbing legs because I live in Florida, so it's taken me a while to get some form climbing. Not an excuse, just a reason. So thanks for your patience. This puts it in perspective. From the gun, I've been climbing. But tomorrow, coming out of Boulevard down to El Centro, and it'll be back in the 80s down there. So that was a long way to answer the question for Greg, but 21 miles today. Any other questions, John? Okay. All right, good, yeah. Good morning to Mom, and I saw that my aunt's on, Aunt Shirley and Uncle Randy, so welcome. Great to have family on board. Yeah, that's Randy, that's my uncle. So, was a lot nicer than it was the other day. Got quite a bit of rest yesterday. That was, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, oops, sorry. I hit a bump like that, and that camera, it has one mount, and it'll the front camera will dislodge, so apologize in advance for that. I was gonna say, yesterday was a rest day, got plenty of nutrition and hydration and rest, and so ready to go again today. John, you were going to say something. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so I sent 5 pounds home. That was sent 5 pounds home yesterday. I was really excited about that because I put things in 2 piles, essential and not essential. I decided, it was kind of a borderline, but I sent home the solar panel. There's just too many opportunities to plug in, and if I had to, I get 2 days on the batteries that I have, and so decided to send that home. There's a little entranceway mat to my tent. That was surprisingly very heavy, so I didn't need that. Sent that home. A couple of other odds and ends. A couple of bungee cords, I think. So that's it. Sent home 5 pounds. And actually felt a little bit lighter on that first climb. I wasn't streaming on that climb, but the climb up out of Pine Valley this morning. So, oh, cool. All right, so we actually probably have the Marsh Creek Niners out there watching on the back deck. So, hello, Marsh Creek. A little chilly today. I think when I started it was 40 degrees. It's a little warmer here in the valley. I think it's going to top out about 50. But for climbing, that's good. I don't mind it. Cooler the better. So Shirley's asking if I'm going to be camping. No, I have. I had a hotel. I was supposed to make it to Boulevard on day 2. As I mentioned, I had a flat, and just the climbing was relentless, so I decided to stop in Pine Valley. And then yesterday was just the locals were very appreciative, and rightly so, for the rain. But it just kind of was a forced down day. Just, we used to say in the Army, it's one thing to be cold, it's another thing to be wet. But if you're cold and wet, you're just miserable. And it would have been mid-30s, and I mean, when it first started, there was actually snow flurries. So I just hung out in the hotel and caught up on work, and my business partner put me to work, so I was happy to catch up. And so now I'll be at a hotel tonight. The one that I was supposed to stay on day 2, just shifted it to the right. All right, Paul, that's cool. So they're watching the technology. So Paul from St. Augustine, let me tell you a little bit about him. He's a very accomplished sailor, he and his wife, Dawn. And they have told me about the bike routes, many bike routes in St. Augustine throughout Florida that I've taken advantage of and ridden on. But Paul's also an amazing fisherman, and a couple nights before I left for California, he brought over some oysters from Salt Run there, and they were just delicious. So it's great. Cool. So looks like we're back streaming again. I got kicked offline with the streaming unit, but we're back on, and welcome to the folks joining. So today, 21 miles. Again, the goal of this ride is to raise awareness for veterans affected by COVID-19. And I've met several veterans along the way, and a common theme is the isolation has been an impact on them. As with many in America, the older veterans, I met a Vietnam veteran who had both of his shots, but the isolation just really was impactful on him, and as it will be for many of us. So what I really want to do is, as I go through these towns, talk to veterans, especially veteran-owned businesses, and identify kind of what their impacts are as we ride for in support of Wounded Warrior Project, who has a great program called Warriors to Work. And so shout out to Wounded Warrior Project, as they have helped support me amazingly on this ride, and a great organization, great services for post 9/11 veterans. Maybe kind of throw it out there. It's still kind of earlier in the year, but just to get you thinking, this is the 20th anniversary of 9/11 this year, 2021. And something to think about as we go through the year. And obviously, Wounded Warrior Project is targeted towards helping post 9/11 veterans with many, many capabilities. So go check out their website. And you can click on the link here too and find out more about them as you participate in this journey. Just a reminder, so to keep my eyes on the road, I've got my moderators in my ear on Discord helping with the chat. And so John's on there today. I think Jordan has weekend duty, but I'm not sure. Or maybe Matt, I don't know. I can hear them laughing in the background. But we've got John in my ear today, and he's helping to read the questions. So feel free to ask questions, and we'll have a good engagement here. John, are you still there? Okay. So Greg's asking what speed I ride. Well, at age 54, I start slow and then let up. So that's what speed. Actually, I ride with whatever speed my body allows me to. And it varies by terrain. I was climbing with carrying a 90-pound trailer. I mean, I was getting about 3 miles an hour, 4 miles an hour. Pretty slow. On that descent, I was probably getting 20. Right now, I'm going to estimate 10, 12, 14. And then it looks like we're getting ready to go climb again, and it'll drop off right away. So it's just a process. If you think about it, like I used to race, and it was all about numbers. It's all about power, wattage, all about heart rate. And I'm not tracking any of that this time. I'm just trying to enjoy the process and journey. Looks like we got a little bit of climb, so hopefully the audio will come through a little bit better as you watch me suffer. We've got we're going to top out, I think, at the highest peak of the ride for California, like 4,500 feet today. Three mountain stages, first 3 days of riding. Pretty steep. I'll have to go around this corner and see what the terrain looks like, because I may drop my layer. So the question about the terrain, yeah, I'm gonna pull over here and drop a layer. So when I come off the mountain ranges tomorrow, it drops into El Centro, and that's right back about sea level into the desert. And I'll be riding a substantial part of the southern border. Forgive me, I'm going to take off a layer. So I think the temperatures tomorrow are supposed to be around mid 80s. down on the desert, and then it's like a slow climb from there up to Phoenix for several days, but not nearly as abrupt. I mean, I think Phoenix, my mods will Google it in the background, but it's something like 1,500 feet or something. But that's over several days. Take off the, oops. All right, that's not cool. The other side. Sorry, my AirPods fell out, John. Say again. You know, it varies from road. So the question is, you know, if the roads look rough. I mean, they vary from state to state. I think every state is challenged these days with, in some form or another, with infrastructure, and I can't imagine the difficulty, you know, from the government perspective. It's just a challenge to obviously keep the roads good, but also the bike lanes. Are, a lot of the debris comes off of vehicles, and the rocks and sand get kicked aside. So I notice a lot of debris in the bike lanes, and so you just have to be mindful. So, all right, thanks for that delay. I think I'm ready to go. Look back and make sure I got everything. All right, we're gonna climb a little bit. So I got a nice rear view mirror so I can see if there's somebody coming in the rear view, and I'll hop back over the bike lane, but it looks a little smoother here out on the road to that point. Well, John, how long have we been streaming? All right, we said about an hour. So maybe we cut it for today. So tomorrow, or get ready to wrap it up for today, I guess. So tomorrow, the goal is to come out of Boulevard. There's a couple of shorter climbs, and then it's a long descent. So welcome descent. We'll have to see what the terrain looks like and the road surface, but my goal is either to get to El Centro or Calexico. Calexico's first, so I mean, but El Centro is probably about 65 miles, and that's a long way. But if I can get pretty substantial speeds on the descent, it shouldn't be too bad. So. Eli likes the descent. Yeah, descending's good. Although I'll tell you, let me talk a little bit about descending. I didn't actually learn how to descend a bike in the U.S. I learned in France. There's a whole different skill set to descending, and of course with a trailer you have to modify some of those skills, but you really have to put your trust in your equipment. It's all about leaning and the right spots and center of gravity, and it's a whole math equation. But I won't bore you all with the descending skills. So you can see we're back on another climb. Let me see if I can get Synapse going, or see it going again. Oh, it's coming back. Okay. Sorry, we just lost video. So I'm in one of these spots, I guess, where it's going to break up. But so far, the trailer has been amazingly stable. For me, it's just a trust factor. For those of you who've done any traveling, think of the travel trailers going down the interstate. Sometimes you'll see them swaying back and forth, and as you're trying to pass, and you're like, whoa. So I just want to get some confidence and trust in the trailer that it's not going to swing around back there. But so far, it's been rock solid. Most of the riders on this southern tier, they carry all their weight on the bike in panniers. I am opting for a trailer mainly because of the technology equipment. It's just heavy. Like if I didn't have the technology equipment, I probably wouldn't even have 45 pounds. So I was joking with the camera guy in San Diego, because he had a large version of the pack that I'm carrying. And he's like, he saw mine, streaming pack, and he's like, oh, that's cool. And his was literally a backpack. And he said his is even smaller than it used to be. So obviously we know technology improves, but it's still heavy. Still heavy. Maybe I should swing up to Silicon Valley and have a chat. All right, John. I think that's about a wrap, huh, for today? Okay. So hopefully wrap up today in Boulevard. As we wrap up today for this stream, the goal for me today is to get there, and for tomorrow, we'll try to stream about at the same time. There'll be a lot of descending. As I said, I'm trying to get to El Centro, but if I can't make it there, Calexico. And hey, I just want to thank everyone. We're at fundraising goal is $100,000 for Wounded Warrior Project. We're over $12,000 right now. So I would invite you to go into the About page here on Twitch and click the link there and check out Wounded Warrior Project. I look forward to catching up with you all tomorrow for sure. So far, so good.